Hello, it is second Monday of the month, which means first week flip phone has ended. Time for me to turn this on. There's the SIM. No SIM card installed until we do that. And I'm here in the lovely Gower Peninsula of Wales, enjoying some barefoot on grass and sand time. Well, the family have just gone down the beach. I'm left here vlogging about digital minimalism for you guys. Let's check out the screen time. Oh. Yeah, iPhone hasn't been backed up 2 weeks, that's a good sign. And then here we go. Oh, there's not been much activity in the last week. That last one was last Sunday. There you go. So yeah, welcome to my first week vlog, and I'll see you on this camera in a minute.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. First week of the month, if you want me, call me on my burner. Couple flip phones. Yeah, nice little learner. Too much from you on the gram. Fam, I'll burn ya. Wish we flip like a burner. I'll spit fire bars and I'll burn ya. Let me paint you a picture.
Hey you guys, so I was using Google's new, where did your content views come from searches, and a lot of people are asking about comparing these two things, the Punkt phone versus the light phone. So I wanted to talk about a special feature that the light phone has, the Punkt phone doesn't, and whether that's a deal breaker for this one. So that feature is, it's not music, it's not podcasts, it's something much more practical and important for getting places in your life, and it is directions. So just to refresh your memory, you can go check out my directions review on my 2021 first week reviews. But briefly, you can find your location, you can put in a destination, and it can give you walking, driving, or transit. Punkt phone, on the other hand, doesn't have that. You know, its main standout feature is the pigeon signal, and obviously that's why that video of mine has got over 1,000 views now. But really, this is more of a true minimalist phone. So, what is this a deal breaker? Does that mean not to get this, not to use it? Well, I think it partly depends on how you're willing to adapt your life and lifestyle to the technology. So, for example, some weeks are easier than others. This week, I didn't really need to go anywhere, and I'll show you why. And this one's for the NHS. Up close. There it is, and this bad boy wasn't able to scan. Yes, I did test positive for COVID about 8 days ago now. And then symptoms was just mild, and then they got better about 3 days ago. So I had a couple of clear ones. Of those, so don't worry, you're not going to catch anything. So yeah, basically, I didn't really need to go anywhere. And when I did, which was driving from Love Trails Festival, where I caught the damn virus, to the hostel, you know, I genuinely was following road signs. Like, road signs are a technology. Like, they're public good that have been put down for you to follow. I knew I needed to go to Mumbles. I was following signs for it. I was figuring things out, you know, the city, well, it says city centre, which city? And then you realize, like, you're in Swansea Bay, so it's just Swansea. Common sense and old technologies can get you through. So I do feel kind of blessed to have the light phone available though during first week, but I'm just spoiled because I do these reviews. Now onwards to my creative week.
Social V, that Cave, social. Selling 2FB, your A copy, they control who can see. Control NV, make you spend P out jealousy. Social media is never free. Cave, social.
So like I said, I was at Love Trails, so music this week, it's going to be a lot about live music. I'll come on to a couple band camps after. But the best live band I saw at Love Trails was a electronic live act in the vein of Rudimental. 9-piece from Bristol, there were 7 of them, and they're called Dr. Meaker. They're genuinely like an incredible live electronic act. I just think it's so amazing when you see like an electronic production be recreated in front of your eyes with a drum kit, with bass, with live brass. So amazing. Who else did I like at Love Trails? I also loved seeing Jack Jones, the Libertine, Pete Doherty's guitarist and the Libertines' old performance poet. He did the Poundland poem, which I saw him do at the packed Hyde Park Libertines reunion show in 2017, which we nearly got crowd crushed at, and there were thousands of people throwing pound coins over our heads. I was the only one who threw one at him at Love Trails. Not even at him, just like a light little like touch onto the stage as a tip, which he seemed to appreciate. And I've got to shout out Tom Arkestra, who saved the day for him because he showed him how to spin a vinyl record. And I felt a lot of, sympathy for Jack, as also a singer-songwriter who's trying to print vinyl with the divided selfie. Please go and buy it, pre-order it, and I'll get 20 out by Christmas. But I felt, Tom Arkestra really saved him there, and Ollie did a great job at curating the music, really wide range, including from David Rodigan playing reggae to the Turbans, doing their sort of we're a super group, we're Iranian, we're awesome. Come dance for 2 hours. They did have some singer-songwriters performing. My view was this just kind of cuts to the heart of why singer-songwriters don't always thrive. The live shows aren't always as high energy as groups and electronic acts, and it's partly I think you have to really raise your game for an individual with just an instrument, especially if you're looping like the Welsh singer-songwriter was. You've really got to raise your game in terms of, performing, leading the stage, telling the audience why they should stick around and hear you build a loop using just your guitar and a looper. Why should they stick around for that? Because I did see this, one girl just got up, head down, started looping, and then the loop went wrong, and it was just kind of oh, that's not the way you want to start. Similarly, there was a guitarist guy on the last night at the castle, just a bit quiet, didn't really talk, didn't really curate what he was doing as much. Great artists. I'm sure their records are amazing, but you've got to work harder as a live singer-songwriter. You see, I just put out highlights from my Valley Park live set, where I really make an effort to, introduce between the tracks. And yeah, I hope you enjoy that curated video of original music. Speaking of records, Bandcamp, I didn't really make any purchases. I did download, and I will actually put a tip in for Heath McNease. I downloaded a lot of his back catalogue, which he's made available for free. Thank you, Heath. I'm going to put a tip in for Rapper, because it just really, it speaks to me right now in terms of being an unlikely rap persona. I think that he just wears it so lightly and well, and he's amazing because he has these folk rock albums. Losing Daylight, I'm really excited about because he recorded it in a single day in autumn. But then he can switch it up, and just an amazing rapper. The guy supporting him on that track, I'm not crazy about, but the video was amazing with the Despicable Me pop culture sort of burn in the background. Right, that's music. What about books? Now, I had COVID this week, so there were a lot of books, all right? 4 to come at you. I'm going to go in decreasing order of relevance to digital minimalism. So a couple non-fiction ones to start. Firstly, 4,000 Weeks by Ollie Burkeman. Ironically, on Amazon, it's branded as smash hits and all of that, which is kind of ironic because all his values are meant to be about not being bothered about the hype of things. But anyway, every author doesn't care about hype until it's time to hype their book. Let's have a look at some of the folds. The efficiency trap, he basically pars most productivity thinking. He's got so much counterintuitive thinking here. Procrastination can be good because it means that you are choosing to deprioritize certain things. It's just knowing which things to deprioritize. Impatience is just so counterproductive. We've got to let things flow. The human disease. These are the 5 big questions that you can ask yourself to basically just get, the whole message of the book more concrete. I don't really want to ruin that. I want you guys to go and check out this guy. He's thought about things a lot, and he's been to the extreme of being a productivity geek, as have I, and he's come back from the edges to share a more balanced message, and it is as good as everyone says. Next, running with the Kenyans, Adharanand Finn. I think I said it. Indian name, Welsh guy. Met him at Love Trails, as you can see here. To Lawrence, from Eastleigh to another. There's a suburb of Nairobi called Eastleigh. Enjoy the marathon journey. Adharanand Finn, Love Trails 2022. What a legend. I just finished it last night. So I got to the epilogue. He wrote a little extra chapter about the 2012 London Marathon. But basically, the basic fact about this one is why are like just Kenyans are just so much better than everyone else apart from Ethiopians to a certain extent. Why is that? And then quite specifically the Kalenjin ethnic group, which are based around like Eldoret and a small town called Iton where there's like 4,000 people and they're like all runners, and they're all just training. So, you know, his instinct was what my brother Jonty's was, who, by the way, gave me the 4,000 Weeks books, thanks to him. And his instinct was, well, it's, you know, it's ethnic, something else. It's ethnicity. It is the genetics predisposition of what they've got. The book basically seeks to say that can't be more than 10 or 20% of it, really. There's a lot of other factors. For example, barefoot running to school, really simple, low diet they eat. They're mostly around like 60 kilograms. The altitude, because it's just great, low, like oxygen training. There's about 7 other factors, and I genuinely think that they're probably all about as important as like the genetic thing, because I don't think the genetic thing is much more than them being like skinny. I don't think it's some like super specific thing. So I think there are a lot of other ethnic groups who could probably do as well if they had a lot of the culture and then the sheer hunger to succeed in running, which the Kenyans have. Clearly social factors are more important. Simply like if you look at cycling, like they just haven't got the culture around it, so they aren't dominating it, but presumably they probably could if there was the culture and history around it. So yeah, take that. You know, racial scientists. Okay. Lanzarote by Michel Houellebecq, fiction, but it's about getting away from your normal place. A bit like running can be a great way of, you know, getting away from the norm and, you know, clearing your head and all that. Travel is another good way. And this guy is, I mean, he writes in first person. You can't help but feel that it is very Michel Houellebecq, because the things we know about him are that he's like controversial. He's like slightly Islamophobic maybe. But like, so the narrator seems like just him jacked up basically. And I wonder if he did take a trip there, because he took some really, I don't know if these are like confrontationally boring photos or like they're meant to be nice. And like in the 90s, this was like good photography. I don't know. But I think he went there, and I think he basically wrote an exaggerated memoir of his experience there in like 75 pages that, like, as you can see, just breaks down into like sex towards the end. Firstly, in quite a nice way, where he has a really amazing sexual encounter with 2 other tourists, but then unfortunately, it descends into kind of like just weird, bizarre plot about the Azarelian sect. Although in fairness to Houellebecq, a lot of sort of, you know, religious sects do have sex problems. I don't know if it's a coincidence in the name. And you know, I've actually seen a Buddhist community that I, you know, did a meditation retreat with ended up having a massive scandal within themselves. So yeah, I mean, fair play to Houellebecq laying into religion and sects, but I like it when he's just writing about fun things. All right, Will Grayson, John Green and David Leviathan. I mean, wow, not really relevant to this vlog's ethos, but amazing. I think the 2 most notable things about this are the character of Tiny Cooper, who is just like a kind of Mozart when it comes to like writing gay musicals, and the fact that it's written by 2 authors, and I was like, how do they do that? 2 authors. I've always been wanting to, you know, I just, you know, imagine me and Abhishek might do that, but it's so genius. They alternate chapters, as you can see here. One Will Grayson is like lowercase and all of that, and then it's about another Will Grayson, and they end up meeting, and he's more of a normie, so the writing's more normie. I mean, look, if you can get through chapter 2, look at the first line, I'm constantly torn between killing myself and killing everyone around me. If you can get through that, then you're probably going to really enjoy this. Such a beautiful ending. Right. Yeah, so that's been my creative week. How's yours been? Let me know in the comments. If you use either of these phones, let me know in the comments how it's going. If you use a flip phone, then I salute you. Please let me know. And just if you generally just like detox on your smartphone, why not do it on the first Monday of the month, next month, in August. And I will be back to vlog about my experience on the flip side. See ya!
We might spit fire tweets, never read them. FirstWeek TikTok on the clock, cause we're back on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Burner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're back on. First week of the month if you want me. Call me on my burner. Couple flip phones.